Audio Jungle. 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 Audio.
So you think you're the king? I mean, what's up with that thing? You must have seen a lot of shit to come up with something this realistic. Ain't stupid. Did you just remember it? Life's experience, it was a great hit. Remember him, author Jim Mightfit. Pick up the cards and sit. In all earnest, it sounds like a sad way to end it. Epic as all that. Probably couldn't stand his wife. We all seem to have these problems in life. Nirvana, that's it. And there was Kurt, what a hit. Just come as you are. Sounds like they both did. So you know that it's got to hurt. Drugs and alcohol do that to you. Do not get confused and start mixing. The sound is cool. That Old Man and the Big Marlin. Yeah, that 58 film Spencer Tracy starred in. Now hanging in a museum and not by rope. Some of us go out that way. A total waste of talent, I'd say. Oblivion being what we at times seek to make your life decease. More than that, it is often too painful. And only escape and release when freedom is simply illegal. That or become killed by police. Bigamy in the back of your mind. Desire for something you may not have, we find. Does life have a plot? It certainly has. Carrying on a journal. That is a steering mechanism or rudder. To tell it to all. To remember what you said. Of course, to tell it to our nation after you are dead. That's why writers write and why fighters fight. Conflict and preservation. Artificial intelligence and partial differential equations predicting weather. Sounds impossible but seems like a real step for the better. Especially landing a plane using this high-speed problem solving. You are surely not going to have time to use pencil and paper recalling. Not a box kite or some contraption made by Wilbur and Orville Wright. Geez, there's ice on the ground. Gusting wind, everywhere is blight. Where the wheels contact terra firma, at what speed and where it stops. Watch the roll, pitch and yaw. Funny as your altitude suddenly drops. Spot a trailer. 16-wheel 53-footer for. Back into door 6. We'll get yard goat. 3,000-mile cross-country trips. Big recovery vehicle to handle all extra loads. Broken tractors go. Pull out a pack and break the transmission. Mechanic works hard and slow. Who's landing planes? You're backing into an old parking spot. If you can turn around on skates, keep going backward, a skill you got. Skateboard, it's a lot of fun. Whiling away hours when you were young. Take it from there, get fancy and grab some air. Painful landing isn't fun. Exciting time for exploration and technology. Fusion energy may come to be. Getting closer looks at the cosmos with advanced telescopes to see. Has to work right the first time. James Webb Project launch is coming into sight. Hope to live long enough to witness its first light.
Some adapt well to retirement, others not at all. What in hell do you do? Hobbies all have some. Collecting things, making stuff expensive too. So you can never really afford to do anything you want. It all costs too much. Or we would. No one works. What diversion, an infant. One to look after when no one's looking at you. True, what a chuckle. Old people are worse than kids or adolescents. It becomes a struggle. If heaven is inanimate, it has got to be some machine designed forever. No moving parts. Pure electronic and old electrons shielded together. Set in deep void, it should last longer than a visible universe. Forever is not infinite. You must die to find out. Don't hurry, you're going there first. What a rush. Just writing it out. Do not be stupid. Hate to be put down. What you wish is in living memory, liked and renown. Hell is hatred. It exists all around us. Relative to love can't be debated. Bend to the middle until someone tries to kill you. Then it is retaliated. Don't level idle threats if you cannot back them up. Keep them to yourself. You may as well pray. And not loud, do not disrupt. So praying may help. It calms your mind. The Maker listens why we chant. To reach states of contentment. Where we feel level and otherwise can't. In times when all we do is curse. It is odious disruption. Put it in reverse. Pay a compliment now and then, before things get worse. As facts of life go, it's a reproductive system we know. The ovum split. When fertilization occurs, it begins to grow, developing humans to exist. An interesting show. What else do you need to know? How to make a living. The easy part. The rest is hard work. A gift, our beginning. Free at last. Escaping confinements of a cage. Make your living on stage. Only a few are that talented. Popularity has a price. Privacy you'd gauge. Escaping, for safety's sake you wish you were back in that protection. Mauled over a rag you are wearing or lock of hair collection. Get over it. There's no thing as magic. What exists is belief. That perceived as a miracle isn't entirely impossible. More like a thief. That they are with you in heaven probably is true. Earth is part of the heavens. Be nice if we got along peacefully and didn't require weapons. Imagine the price of those earrings. Never too late to marry money, is it? Then you would be royalty too. If not for eternity, at least for a bit. Calm down, not. Be satisfied with what you have. Thoughtfulness gets farther. Without it you shall be reduced and will have to work harder. Why work at all? You know it's going to end one way or another. Salvation, the only thing worthwhile. Forget personal gain. Think of a brother. Death is inevitable, we just like to ignore it. Push it to the back of your mind. Leave it there but don't ignore it altogether, you find.
Quantum is the minimum amount involved in an interaction. So commonly used but misunderstood. Term misuse springs on a dissatisfaction. Geez, you're a smart individual. Coined by physicists clear back in the 20s. It was then quite unusual. Max Born quantum mechanics entries. Werner Heisenberg, Wolfgang Pauli, University of Göttingen, in Germany. As much required to make the pills up. That's it, give me your money. Has that gotten to be enough? No, it never is, so you keep taking more. You either do not know, or care what for, Goldfinger, pussy galore. Is it what you like to do, or have to in order to stay alive? Needless to say, we're like it. Noise, look out now. If it's dead serious, don't get in the way. Anything that completes the rhyme. Simply to while away idle time. How much left you don't know. Scheduled execution, fine. Check out time. You plan to stay for one more day but can't afford it. The story of one's life. Some of us prefer to spread 30-year fixed. You have to become 100 something. Hair to your knees. It happens all by it, not to everyone. Wrong side of the law, please. Till our last time's spent. Can't take it with you. Much you'd like to know where to spend it, in heaven or hell. Sure as that, too soon it's through. Is it heaven or the heavens to which they are referring? Hell, welcome to Venus. A little warm, you'd say, enough to fry one's penis.
Ever tell yacht wiki ain't tweet. Cheap if even that. Chirp from a dispensary. Gone to the birds. Robot on Butt Rogers in the 21st century. I ain't telling ya to go there. IFN, you're an officer, sir. Bury the hatchet now. If you tripped over it, that's not my fault, as it were. Leaders come in different shades. In every kind or persuasion, charismatic. To get a crowd to bend to your thinking becomes challenging and dramatic. Write a play or song. What could possibly go wrong? In fact, everything. You'd better be a good actor at least, or know how to sing. That seems straightforward and stupid. And in fact it is exactly that simple. Talent comes in all varieties. Some diverse, others very common, a symbol. It's what you become. Like it or not, it may become your downfall. Too much of the good things can even become fatal, that's all. Get on with it. In your book of songs or psalms, if you like to call it that. Without any real plot, that's what writing becomes. Advised to all masses directed at any you wish. Make your message stand out pictorially, in meanings which may be comparable meanings editorially. A great writer surprises one. You can think anything at all, much as you drink. What is even more disconcerting, there exists a motivation to think. Mammals with outsized cerebellums, that's humanity. What's it get us? More problems we didn't need or have in the first place thus.
Sukai stands over Sucha. Hardy har har, make me laugh, ski. So, you die from heartbreak. Literally, kills you, KP. There's a double meaning, kitchen police and killing people, the expression. They put you on it. Only following orders, I know. Leads to states of depression. That or a firing squad. You wouldn't want to get your hands dirty. Oh yeah, clean Marmite cans. Think of the leftovers, don't get wordy. About trigger happy as any. Now you just killed my replacement. Be stop doing dirty dishes forever. It ain't hell, just a lot of work payment. You know that prisoner was good for something. Even a bad murderer. Just to save your own skin. Couldn't pay for his soul food. It's that or perjurer. Waiter, the check, wouldn't you know it? You're out of smokes. Last request before scrubbing the pots and pans. Enough stupid jokes, and then it is load, aim and fire. Not even a drum roll or time to exhale. Directly through the heart and head. Bang, you are dead. Better than jail. Some of them. It's the United States. Consider yourself fortunate. Department of Homeland Security 10 most wanted's coordinate. Could get paid if it leads to arrest. Let's see that picture again. I start to remember. Seen that one someplace. They are not all men. Facelift, sex change, anything's possible. For $100,000, you shall be on it faster than good audiences clap, yell or holler.
Too dangerous to go to sleep. Dream police are inside my head. They came to arrest me. My greatest fear is I'll wake up dead. It's a shooting news, eh? Only it is not a movie. I am so tired of staring at my wife. Most horrifying thought of all. I shall be this way rest of my life. Afraid it is true. Me or you. We have to have a vacation from one another. Love her, but it seems like I could just smother. I mean to death, oh brother. How long can you put up with just that one person? Ask Ernest Hemingway. After 25 years seems like a term in prison. All the nitpicky things you cannot stand about each other. It gets on nerves. No matter how deep love goes, hatred follows close at hand, one observes. Sick of writing as I am of some people, it seems. Kid you not, I have got to get rid of the law enforcers controlling my dreams. A sign I see every night telling that, don't go there. It's part of desire. An essential part of living. For food, water, what to wear. It has to be or you will die. Even for air. Those are our needs, not wants. I'd take an island cruise ship and topless bathing suit model shots. Every time she calls you. It's what do you want? Put specifically that's need. Of course her never-ending list of that follows everything I have. It's greed. There is no end until you are dead. You see, it's once inside your head. Wear dark glasses and imagine it's who's in bed.
Store documents have creators. Machines are our libraries. Of sort, compacted information spaces. Make for convenience, without shelf places, where size varies. That Library of Congress fit in a shoebox, say. It'll work, modern electronics being as it is. Could be made that way. Now you have something copyrighted. And you guessed it, stored on a shelf. I've seen it before. That symbol C in the center of a circle. Intellectual property belonging to yourself. Send lawyers, guns and money. You'll need it. Turn the place into a striptease, implant your DNA. Sure enough, another love child belonging to someone rich and famous. Hey, this can become proven. In a court of law. You're that judge's illegitimate offspring. Wouldn't you know it? The entire jury, spawn of a miscarriage in justice. Just as you explained in your cross-examination. It's what drives all those rock stars to suicide at tender young ages. Knowing the publicity would ruin their careers and finance on stages. Good thing I'm a dishwasher and not a superstar. Couldn't take the publicity. Move over, Prince, old fellow. Elvis, could name a few others. Diamond in the soles of their shoes. A blue suede pair'd last a lifetime. One ice cream enough. All 31 flavors on top. See where it will get you. It'd just make a mess. I'm not cleaning it up. Someone had better get to work and pay for it. Standing naked, don't get sued.
Complacent dawdle should not be taken lightly with human life at stake. then especially your female assistant. That is enough, but with instruction. Stand there for just a moment. Assume you know what I do. You don't, of course. That is a life's experience. Living through it. If they are dead, it is serious. You may be held responsible or partner to it. Believe you would not choose that if murder. Exceedingly well, it is a serious accusation. Don't become overly compliant. That makes you accomplice to it. Treat any combatant hurt most seriously first. Enemies may have data. Anomenapia, but it is still the same thing. Espionage, if you like, treason. Literal words that sound like actual things. Precise words made to evoke the sound of real things. Made up words that sound like real things. A series of letters that mimic a sound. There's Shush, high-speed bullet. Russians 7.62. Or America's Springfield 30.6 sound the equal to. 45's the exact dull thud unless it is .357 Magnum. 9 millimeters, not much wider than a pencil. Accurately, same effect. Short shot side take depleted uranium rods in one of the Patton armor main guns. Traveling a mile per second. Count 1 and impact 5,280 feet away. Through 5 or 6 feet of solid steel. At the front slope of an enemy tank, its ammunition and fuel.
Microns a millionth meter. Piece of hair on your head 60 microns thick. So a 1 micron wire is very thin but much larger than any atoms you'd pick. An electric conductor, only an atom across is 0.128 billionths of a meter. That's it, copper. Don't trip an alarm. Distinguishing diamond from glass does not take an expert. One cuts the other, not another way around. So don't try and skirt. Did she fall for it? No kidding. In the Smithsonian, 44.5 carats. 9 grams, weighs less than 2 nickels. A third ounce, one inherits. No amount of money lasts all your life. Dependent on speed it came by. What luck, skill or deserving paid for it. Easily it goes as comes. Not being shy. That gets you killed because of it. The very main reason why. You may choose to live only live honestly then heartlessly cry. Everyone on earth fights over equality of life. Not surprisingly we wish the best. Never satisfied at being standard or common. Anything but like the rest. It has to be a notch above. But no one knows above just what. A prince and pauper syndrome. Both kinds of confinement just. You'll not win against Jesus. Given power it is both dangerous and frightening. Set on the planet to save its inhabitants were it destroyed in a bolt of lightning. Earth Mother's history one of continual mass extinctions. Mankind's final period, then its ending, no distinctions.
What made our Savior stand out was prophecy. That predicted came to pass. In studies of history, how much, if any of it, was written before occurrence? Ask. Say the next World War. Any meddling with the past effects that. Good time travelers have then prevented the Holocaust's fact. Not fiction, it is scientific knowledge we have today, the Lorentz transformation. All reference to velocities and different time frames the mention. So yes, this as long as the arrow of time is one directional. By today's knowledge you may age faster or more slowly correctional. Resulting different outcomes, arrows move sideways as well. Being said, if it doesn't save friends or get rid of enemies it won't sell. General relativity or hospital, it's the wrong place. If it saves us all, you bet the stuff you put in the washing machine. White loads look dull. King Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon are in the Old Testament. Both factually correct. He conquered Israel. As consequences, Redeemer is mentioned in text. More blasphemy for you. Move over, Jay-Z. What did the people say? To this day they aren't making many friends. Arabs are that way. Clam up or you're next. He spoke for mankind, however, as well as Israel. Becoming sacrificed gave his word conviction. Guilty, the Son of God is real. He never claimed to be, that is what the people said of him. Rabbis had it wrong. That Jesus claimed it, yes, indirectly then.
Through miracles performed, mankind's Savior gave faith and hope. At a time that was in no way promising to people in that region's scope. Not everyone believed in angels and such. A gap in faith raised doubt. Until it came to lasers, time travel perhaps, divine visitation shout. How else does one explain what is claimed? Confidence in a doctrine. That is all required of those accepting science. Decision based on evidence. The method used to reach a conclusion. On it is based an institution. Marketplace, if you will. Contamination may be the population. Look around, people, don't you see? Speaking now, as if you were he. What is so unique about our species? May one say that it is different, we'd all agree. The world might be better off with no people may fit. They are the contaminants. Oh no, don't look at me. That is us, darn it. Not a question of evolution or creation. We all seem to be here self-evident. How it came about, ask your creator. All should agree. Don't be decadent. Mess up the planet. You may get your wish. What pollution? Is it a fish? Most populous or largest body mass on the planet wish. Smartest do not get farthest. Strongest do not last longest. Say it over again. The lessons of evolution's contention with nature's long list. There have been many. There is no indication it will stop interventions. Each time we think our trouble solved, it raises new questions. We can be at any time. Earth, a small target in a cosmic shooting gallery. Reason to fear our creator is any term remaining in our planet's mortality. Proportion of Earth to universe is inconceivably small at that. On scale of our universe, not an average atom next to the planet. The most unfriendly neighbor may be our sun. We're about a millionth that size. Continents float on the surface of magma. Species, matter of time till it dies. Frightening to realize our destinies. A human lifetime is short. And that's why, to a savior of mankind, we like to resort. What good are we so small? In fact, no reason in existing at all. You are right. You might well pray that life has purpose. Recall. Do nothing, as it is going to end anyway. Gets very tired and really boring. Fear not, life doesn't end. Worlds keep turning. Memories are storing. The sheer immensity is then encouraging. Must be more than what we're observing. Curiosity keeps us going because we have to know. It's disturbing. Tomorrow, it may as well be forever. Can't wait till you get there. Conditions change and people too, much as unpredictable weather. Self-preservation well as inquisitiveness are motivating factors to figure. Sometimes you want to die. Don't worry, so do I. Then there is light's vigor. Seeing that, instinct is to move toward it. A lantern fish so you're bit. That's way down deep. Zillions of them. Too many to fit. It's all a game of wild chance. Upon this earth how long we have to dance. Walk, activity, the way our bodies sway so that its fluid motions enhance. That the fortune is good is likely. For the course of evolution to stay. In wild possibilities the avenues of nature take anyway. What of it hits atmosphere is well granulated. Not much is soil bound. Most winds up as ash clouds scattered by the air. Not too much hits ground. Boulder-sized asteroids got to be fairly large to impact a surface. Every 100 million years a truly mountainous one could hurt us. Advantage of being small. With gas giants farther out around us. Next to Jupiter we are merely a dot. Period. Buy a softball if you must. What's hit regularly are those outer globs, attracting more suppose. Straying asteroids in our solar system. When the world ends no one knows. It does happen. Watch the night sky for shooting stars. We see them a lot. Tons of interstellar stuff falls into the atmosphere yearly. Add to what we got. Thankfully not in portions large enough to disrupt surface life. Only on rare occasions we are struck by the meteorite type. Rare, valuable, worth collecting, they are worth extra effort in getting. Deep down or laying on the surface, look for charred black color bedding. Mostly metal and magnetic, a sure sign is with magnets detecting. Nickel, iron and rock burned on entry. Big one's most rare setting.
War is hell, life's a bitch and peace oppressive. Love is bliss, life is oppressive. And hatred is unholy. That love exists and lasts is impressive. Go ahead with your quiet thoughts then. You like to be expressive. Devotion and kindness be attributes. To affection get aggressive. Better living in a world of tenderness and kind consideration than one inspired by hatred or bloodshed, any situation. Like yin and yang, good and bad, opposites exist relative only to one another. True. The trick is being objective and remaining so until investigating through. Inquiries may last lifetimes, others brief. Many arise new suspicion, my belief. What started a war? Why was it fought? What for? Having caused much grief. History is of great importance, and it should not be ignored. Always repeating itself. We learn from what's happened before. Look into it. Pay attention and study. What is in your books as journals? Those are facts. The death of nations, overthrown government circles, revolution anywhere civilization rises stirs interest over its success. How long and well did that society last? You call it progress. Take active interests in how you are becoming led and by whom. School, sports, military or government, there's a list it is presumed. Like it or not, we are all followers. Be careful of who it is you pursue. Strongest, biggest, fastest, smartest are usually our leader. Is it you? Surrealist fantasy if you can afford to indulge in the endeavor. It's spaced out. That is, couldn't think of much to say. Generally speaking, I'm that way, about one can short of a six-pack and that blunt I'm smoking. Oh, you mean the refer? Well, yes, to say blankly, that's stoking. More surrealism, stack the cards, we have an extra deck. Sit in, have a chair. We do this every day without a care. More for fun than stand and stare. I will shuffle and let you hold all the jokers. 5-card draw then, nothing wild. My favorite game, poker, learned it as a child. My ex-girlfriend's fourth facelift. Wouldn't you guess but her new outfit? How the time flies when we're having fun. Believe me, she needed one. Now we just drink and tell jokes. No one takes it seriously. It enhances the mood though, creating frames of mind less deliriously. Spring ahead or falling back, it's winter, so go relax. Recall all the facts. In the summer we frolicked, had a good time. Not bad acts. Come fall we took it more seriously. Wondering where to live. That life is made for suffering doesn't have to be. Become free and willing to give. Sitting here trying to get it in gear. Worst part of lines bringing up the rear. Life really is nothing more than a social event. Delightful served with beer. Can't stick around. Have to finish another day. It is all complete. Talk with my friends, do some paintings, what a treat.
When told, no, you may not think that. It may not be printed or thought it violates personal rights, even if they are open threats taught. Steps taken to carry them out changes stories to conspiracy. Idle threats are just that. They may be accepted as such until taken seriously. Going to get that boy, and we all heard it. Said it loudly in front of a crowd. They heard it. All listened as you repeated your threat and said it aloud. We have rights to voice our dislike. Until you make plans to break laws. Then got a gun too. Exactly what is it you saw? I ain't no felon yet. Fired lots of main gun ammo, high explosive plastic, bet. Heard every second-hand story imaginable. Couldn't see the targets set. Did those rounds impact people so that human beings died? Only targets my knowledge. Live fire, on 3 continents, no denied, was an accident, top might have been. Get along with First Sergeant then. God knows well. Can't read or write or even spell. Drink together now and again. Don't be flying any planes. Because that of course takes brains. And a little bit longer to stop. Harder to navigate terrains. Rusty on that. What is a DAT? Dumbass tanker, in the days of Patton armor. Clumsy, slow, but pretty darn lethal with that main gun archer. Put a tungsten arrow through a moving 12-inch bullseye a mile away, see. Turret stabilization on, from a moving tank, on the way. Kind of games caught in pictures. Chess, seduction and snowball fights. Saying more, it becomes the first fallen winter snow, in black and whites. One background is a prop. The other is not. Suggestive, who wins? One who captures the other's king. Scatter the pieces, begin again. Kabang, think you saw it coming, got out and started running. Or dodge the bullet. Because that is the way I drive while gunning. That's what happened to Coco the clown. Little Betty Boop's friend. She died and was carried off in a coffin someplace. More than a fender to mend. Oh, those were days they made money and cars working people drove. Brand new cars for less than $1,000, for which citizens strove. Before 1920, and you could legally drive drunk. Too many did. That probably killed more people than all the wars, heaven forbid. Talk about your trigger-happy patriots. Makes me very happy. Good job, Lieutenant. In movies and in the real war with Germany, it was Audi. Think they named car after him. Last name was the surfer called Murphy. For your role models, I would vote yes. Not the killer type, more surfy. Surrealist art you are remembering. Somewhere in Spain, close to Madrid. All of us chase our dreams. Not many find where our claims hid. Cultural traditions vary. From a dark black forest to an Asian peninsula. We strive to fill in gaps left out by the originators, in principle.
Born to lose, bound to live the blues. Seems a down day, nothing to say. Tearful, not happy. Lonely depression, for that be. So find another way. There's solace in writing. A mind cries out amidst its highs and lows. Where it comes from, what causes it, frustration, no one knows. Hurt and know the pain. Drugs or alcohol an escape, but no real gain. The roller coaster of emotion through loss is set in motion. A lover lost again. They come in and make us happy. Then they are gone like a music's song. Lost is melody. No one will say hello to me as I move along. Chronic boredom, no sense of purpose. Put in words of unending verses. Written only, never meaning to send. No plot, though a lesson transverses. Dependence on people for no reason than reflection or self-detection. Attentions to gain and in spotlights remain. Seeking a direction. Useless prose for nothing to do. Directed at no one. None to send it to. Just to stay busy or pass on emotion. Acquiring sympathy, seeking a clue. Writing to write for nothing to do. No audience or applauding hand. No standing on stage. Center of the crowd or keeping tune to a band. Put to music it could make sense. Would need reasons or recompense. If only to keep away from whining. Day in and out my works commence. Looney Tunes I tell you. Losing my mind. It was lost long ago. That I'm still looking to find. An end to my insanity. An ending message to sow. The mind passage is a dream. Even when awake it is not what it seems. For far bent is what is reality. Interpreted only by its maker what it means. It goes as show in the beholder's eye. And it exists as a minuscule piece. In a part of the sky. You're too small, the reason entreats. Into endless unknown questions stretch forever on a ceaseless trip. Never reaching conclusions cause it ends the game and loses the grip. Why try is why, you're a pizza, stare. Eat, consume, digest. That's the rest. There is no sense trying. It is only a lying. And is dying at best. Then that one supposes to be another beginning. Finality is in the imagination. Maybe so and maybe no. The only way to find out is to go I'd mention. All a standpoint and you are on it. We all are. Except for maybe our maker. And one made special, we like to think as our savior. One came close to divine that an end would not come to be, we find. A rescuer of mankind when the world will end. As sure it shall mind. The sun will become a red giant and engulf the inner planets. Do not think our species to last forever. We'll burn out long before that planet. Did ourselves in war, radiation, mutation, sterilization, you name it. Inactivity enough to drive us off our rocker. Stare at computers, sit. Nice time drifting around in outer space now with no gravity. Don't need our muscles anymore or our bodies. Brains turned to a cavity.
You want something instilling that just cuts you to the bone. Not caring whose possessions they are or anything else they may own. That's the bait. Now here is the desirous little trap. You won't know about it until you've lived there for years and settled into doubt about that. Once you've inked something into existence, you can never go back. It becomes an addiction. To produce something. Anything with that knack. Not to say it will become successful. Almost nothing is. In its time. In a few centuries you may become discovered. But never in your prime. hacking away to keep occupied, ignoring the inevitable. At death's doorstep, looks like a little child. Up, walking, running through the trees we trek, then sailing on the breeze, under a beautiful wind today. It was so fun when we were young with nothing to do all day but play. A bridge between logical and lackadaisical swings between two red eyes. On one side pandemonium, on the other a garden. Reason to cross wise. Introverted, then comes out again. To look again at the flowers. Wonder, it says. What shall we do today in order to while away the hours? What if life was a permanent vacation? No work or responsibilities held. Like a small kitten wagging its tail. Wanting to run from reality as well. Smoke and think, into nicotine sink. How shall I pay for the paint? Where will I get the canvas? That any others may know I acquaint.
Art, Warhol cartoonist creators. Among other work ain't it dandy? Should she shed tears over him, express anger or surprise, it's scanty. Hobbies keep us busy and work makes us feel accomplished. Think of every project you started. How many were complete and which demolished? Parable or an analogy in that? I do not see it. Well defined and bordered, no definition. Drink more orange juice. Something and worry about that symptom. No, the big green hand. It's getting harder to understand. The girl looks scared and the bicycle's going backward and planned. Let's take a solemn moment here to brush away that blemished tear. Become silent and listen closely to what others say that you may hear. The animator's era has only begun. The rest of the picture a committed one. Not to worry, it is all for fun. Don't stare at me or point a gun. Worse than two-face is four-faced. Pisses you off as half a chapter got erased. That's it, drop dead, stop it. Call it art. Shouldn't be on sidewalks, it defaced. Pick them out of any newsstand. Bound to become collectors. The better editions were probably never kept by acceptors. Something just snaps. Shrip, you're a cripple. Blam, it's awful. AURRRK, I'm struck. Course it is simple to match any next rhyme with the one word. Luck. Generally speaking, I do not resort to four-letter words that cuss. After confessing my sin, I am reluctant to start in again. Impressionism is the impression I get. Paris, Claude Monet, Renoir and others. Of all the end of hours, one wonders what an artistic movement mothers. Nora Jones, age 30, in the 31st century. That'd be jazz singers. Give it 100 years or more of effectual sensory. For an actual human being to be a living person could take several generations. Some traits are hereditary. Most are learned and passed to relations. Painting, writing, one adventure to be mostly acquired skill. You are related to Tolstoy, Da Vinci. Continue the creative will. Run with it. You'll keep up the free spirit. Decisions happening down the road. We'll sit a while and think. Not a real passion. Worrying is such a load. But somewhere up there is a ride. Or that old house we're looking at. Been away at sea for too long. Don't murmur, have a chat. I see, it is a man. Even back in the turn of millennia, 1900s, people were conservatives. Because there were no cures or miracle drugs. What tetanus and penicillin cure today? Back then you would pass away. Promiscuity could very well become fatal. More so than today. Anyway, it isn't impressing people. But it's impressionism. An old school. What would we lay on it today? New artistic style, way cool tool. To burn into another generation's memory in order that they rewrite history. Every new era has its heiress. What they'll be or do a mystery.
9 to 5 in a cubicle. Put in 8 hours. You begin to feel like this scene. Answering phones and working on a computer. You conform to the screen. Ever wonder why monitors aren't round? We're used to a stage. Probably because building structures require the geometry usage. May I cut in? Put to music in a 7-note scale. Dropping your half step to blues. Add a sharp or flat. Get up on stage and act. Betting on horses you'll lose. Same fingering pattern sliding up or down to changed scales. Chromatic patterns and four-sided figures. So it details seem to have lost a frame. It is a cubist. Same style Cezanne, Picasso and Dali. Pablo seems to have come up with it. Others took the dive almost vitally. Looks like the eyes of insect when taken to extreme. Compound visualization and polarization of light. The effect of a dream. Tip your hat to that, don't give up on your music. Can't be hogging it. Why are people so insistent on being first? You never know. May you just sit. Hurry up, what's it all about? You don't want to be first to die. Generally speaking, no. Not even for art. Positively, not ask why. My love in conclusion is some sort of blues tune. Grab your harp and breath notes. Harmonica in a minor key. Any scale you want. The way D floats. There you go, now blow it. That's an A. I'd take blues in any scale, say. If you do not like the lowbrow beat of it, then stay away.
Pre-Raphaelite 1850s, opposed the Royal Academy in London. Well said, before civil war in the United States. It hadn't been done. A return to nature and exploration of the social problems of that time. They were big time in America, leading to abolition of slavery. Mind. Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick. Harriet Stowe did Uncle Tom's Cabin. Bleeding Kansas and the Crimean War. Russia, Britain and France began. Abolitionism was on the rise. John Brown hanged for treason. North and South are coming to odds in America over slavery. Good reason. What do you call democracy where you're denied citizenship by color of skin? It grinds on the foundations of the Constitution in our revolution then. Anthropological study, biology and genetics, our new science. Even without them, sociological problems are all society's reliance. About how different then. Unlock the past, for it's a key to our future. History is easily forgotten. Or some don't want to know what computer. That assumes advancements continue. At times we begin to hate them. When a machine becomes your boss. International business, it's him. That's how the cards fell then. Destiny, fate or determinism, your guess. Determined is a good term. We have a play in where it comes to rest. Not so much as how the cards are dealt, more how you play them. See, it's up to us. Our survival and conditions independent of nature then. Telegraph, the gold rush, realism art movement began to break from romanticism. We all get that way. Remain creative, break away from vandalism. Torn canvas, I presume, Mona Lisa, her iPhone. Some strange pets, I'll bet. It is a time frame to which we infer, and what it intones brings a tear. That which matches reality. Be that as we perceive it. So you don't second guess what you're looking at. Fantasy doesn't fit. Eyes and rows, everyone knows. That says it. No second guessing. While it's sketchy, it's pretty darn good. Someone you miss, go on, confess. Alarming, didn't have electronics back in 1840, just telegraph. Not very modern in that it would blow your mind. Are you good at math? Ratios and proportions are used all the time. Know it or not. Just approaching stop signs at intersections, guessing where you'll stop. A style that depicts the 1800s. Timid dress with a bonnet for ladies. Computers were 100 years away. Make a doll to give to babies. Photography had been established, contributing to artistic reality. Camera replaces brush. Painter becoming replaced formalities. Extremes we go to just to relax. Hit a few balls, do your drawings. Face the fact. Brother, no way he's telling mom. Walk off with your belongings. They were my possessions but just unpinned. Rather think of them as friend. Conflict started as no one announced for both for the end.
Unexplored, the American West. Romanticism is the trend in art. It is the old days leading to the westward migration of Europeans, part, swinging and detailed in every aspect, with great attention to detail. Rugged landscapes, less than modern cities, everything perfectly to scale. You'd become hard put to undergo surgery in the early 1800s. No effective anesthetic, antibiotic or modern medicine, speaking of drugs. So it was bite the bullet or bottle of whiskey if you're lucky. Nature so completely splendid then. Lovely landscapes were study. The French Revolution, invention of the revolver, and the age of steam. Beethoven writes classic work. Napoleon conquers empire in his regime. Slavery is banned in Europe and the telegraph patented. In the time, no cameras or photography. Thus painting became deeply implanted. Religion, very well established in the Catholic Church, was a main theme. Though science had a long way to go then, ethics and savior are seen. Evolution had yet to become established. Darwin began his study. Love is eternal. Romance flourished and was pronounced in art as the key. That was a great time for explorers, as the entire world was yet covered. Oregon Trail, the Great Way West was underway. Much of the American continent undiscovered. These were blossoming times, stand hardships suffered. Wagon trains first headed west as scientific advances recovered.
In and out, ladies. It's what a bow is all about. Didn't have drive-ins then. Back in 1770s. Rococo, or the late broke back when. Most of us are like that most the time, broke. Till I sell the painting and way. Slow down. Get a new laptop. How much does this job pay? Steam engines were coming around. The American Revolution and Independence. The style beginning with Rembrandt Van Rijn progressed hence. Peace Treaty in Paris, top hats and discovery of the Hawaiian Islands. Wolfgang Mozart lived and died. Classical music displaying new horizons. That is it. We are going Dutch treat. Because like poor Amadeus, I am broke. Can't afford a funeral right now. We'd all like to own a Rembrandt, no joke. It's the holidays. At best, we drink ourselves to death. Wait for New Year's. Never give up till you breathe your last breath. Set me zoom on that. Looks pretty darn conservative. Back then you had to be. Those dark glasses you have on don't fit the time frame. Wear them to see. Sacred hearts, they can't be broken. Regular consciences always are. But that belonging to the Redeemer is remembered to be our. Keep reading if you're bored. Get up to dance. Romance is coming your way. Batten it in any time period. We certainly would not be standing here today. Now that's fully dressed. It must have been cold. Things don't change. Weather is Mother Nature, however. Not precisely the same.
It's the late 1900s. Jazz singer that's all time cool. Fit the groove in a way so seductive it's delightful. That's not trying to fool. The real thing, only she does makeup. Nothing new for a woman. Hair and eyes, lips and liner. Contact lenses. She is a modern human. A take on that same person. Flashing back to even a teenager. Softball bat or microphone, it's one who was pretty well known later. The subdued jazz artist didn't really hit the chart till after 2000. The same girl, young or old. Time takes its toll on us all in the end. One reason that I like to rip on that is because in reality her name is Pat, known since she was a little girl. Born in 1960, remember that. Child or adult, how things work to turn out is no one's fault. You're young and become old. It was a big hit, sold and sought. Here's more of the 1960s and 70s. Her life was cut short. Janis Joplin, more of the James Dean, Jimi Hendrix, fast-living sort. You know life isn't really a destination, so enjoy the ride. What they did. Live fast, play hard and die young. They were on that side. And by fully modern, this means just that. Watch out for this one at Pat. Girl has it all, even a halo. Blessed, in a way. Give her credit, she big hat. Children are what we can only attribute to women bearing. So watch out. Ain't that what life is about? It is, do not deny sharing.
Like Dave is spaced out on Mars again. Just laying out in Jezero crater. Not official, it's National Aeronautics and Space Administration as the creator. It is Mars and does look like a flying saucer that's crash-landed. Seems almost fossilized in stone though. Proof second-handed. This one is upside down or some kind of parachute. Same saucer flipped over. Sure doesn't look like hardware from Earth that fell of a landing rover. Could this have been biological? Looks manufactured turned to stone. Laying out on Mars a billion years, anyone's guess, unknown. Now here are some places ready to move into. Cliff dwellings for sale. Belonged to cave dwellers on the Red Planet. Looks architectural in detail. What human minds would read into it is habitat. But no atmosphere. Archaeology, but it is Earth. Need advanced robot explorers here. Sculpted statue look like wizards battling it out in enchanted towers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were here likely long ago. Donatello's powers. The symmetry is strange if it is doctored. Technology could do it. So read what you want into it. Seems formed of mud, one admit. Looks like some structured fortress. Isn't that a way with nature? Mysterious geology, not of our planet. Major labor in a crater. Perseverance is exploring this. Plutonium radioactive decay is the power. Electrically run, this is some amazing stuff. More interesting by the hour.
Hard to believe it is a product of nature. Fin or a flipper, such precision. Maybe it would make some kind of sound. 10-hole decision. One is covered for some reason, leaving only 9 which are playable. No air on Mars, or creatures that we know of. Looks like stone and Sybil. Looks like a hoax or some gimmick. Floating but casting no shadow. Holes on the sides. Is it a basket, pouch or container? How would I know? Or altered photography, on overlay. Even I can do that. What's the point, however? Seems the bottom is fossilized leather, an inverted hat. Here is proof NASA has been looking for. A pissed off Martian. Crash landed robot in dirt, then left it as scrap. What a bargain. Marvin doesn't like it and he wants someone to pick the thing up. Maybe we should listen to the irritated little green guy. Well, I hate to interrupt. Since Perseverance got there, we've gotten the weirdest stuff seen. This part of the planet sure isn't flat, full of caves with erosion like a dream. Way stranger than anything on Earth. Water ice, nothing alive yet. No telling what's done to alter its data. For money, oh you bet. The instant Martian wants to know why we're looking at the carcass. It was a distant relative to Bugs Bunny. Could be ribs, they are thus. Where minerals replace calcium, think could last a billion years. Knowledge is great, but what makes it worth money? Wisdom's wealth one hears.
Most voracious predator on the surface of the Red Planet is the pink panther. He's a rare gem amongst the pinnacles and cliffs. Walking looking for an answer. A great fortress lay behind him, nature's gift. Originally he was centerpiece of a wedding stone, huge diamond where he fit. Cartoons need not worry about atmospheric pressure, oxygen or gravity. Like other things in this photo sequence, he's an overlay, naturally. So when you see things that simply don't belong on Mars, someone put it there. Imagery can be altered. Big diamonds, men are sneaky, beware. The mummy is loose too. Escaped from those pyramids behind him. He had been laying around since before recorded history to come out to explore them. His bandages seem a little loose. Someone in that condition should run. It's strange he isn't making any tracks in the sand, none. Now the discovery is final. Woody Woodpecker beat the astronauts. How he got there before them is anyone's guess. Built his own rocket, our afterthoughts. Like other things, this seems out of place. Like the Earth, Mars has been orbiting out there. What does this bird displace? Be careful what you're visiting. Might be that you're just not welcome. Hope he doesn't mean it, that thing he's pointing. Suspect Martian, then some. Veils murderous, 2,500 miles long. In places 4 miles deep. From an altitude doesn't seem a place people belong.
Rock out on Mars. Plasma monitors don't say all. They are images. Envision standing on the fourth rock's surface viewing perimeters. All the world's a stage. Incense as it is. And other planets we've seen. Only I'd rather inspect evidence personally. So it's not an image on screen. Seems most of what's flowing on Mars isn't liquid. It's dust or iron oxide. Granulated rock and rust blown about by a thin gas of carbon dioxide. Mostly that, although there is good old H2O, water. Without which we humans won't get far. The necessities definition, brother. Nitrogen and oxygen or air. Animals on planet Earth depend on that. With no photosynthetic processes, life won't evolve or last. A single cell in liquid constitutes first steps toward complex. From it we originated. There wouldn't be much chance. From basic, what are the prospects? Referred to as a boring billion years on our third rock. Microbes learn to link. Hit or miss process took a long time. Because it was that, now think. For a round peg to fit a hole, square ones simply don't work. It is how evolution shaped us. Below the surface, truth may lurk. On molecular levels, it's known as covalence of electrons and their shared orbits. Formation of compounds involves attraction of free electrons to bind bits. Simple elements becoming compound ones by the method. Like lightning striking liquid surfaces. It is where that's headed.
Why in our Maker's name do we find a compulsion to record words or thought? Perhaps it's our afterlife. Memory that is, in reading what was taught. If there is one, that must be it. Should it become prohibited? What if you were instructed not to think? You're not to be exhibited. It infringes on our freedom. Being prohibited anything we love. It's killing me too, including murder. Yes, it is forbidden, homicide thereof. Don't say we don't consider it. Everyone does on a regular basis. Robbery, rape and killing, prohibited but practiced by those ungracious. How else would you get fed? That thing you're eating, is it dead? No, you have to pay someone else to do it for you. It's what you read. Go on now, ask Moses. What told him to write those commandments? The Almighty, of course. To lead all his people toward civilized advancements. Holy cow, how'd mankind get with it? Symbolization, marks representing words, probably began as a family, assigning names to offspring then verbs. Actions specifically as in walk don't run. That of course, how it begun. At first it was easy, but became more difficult and less fun, making it longer, more complex. Vocabulary started and passed down generation. Families got larger, boundaries extended to include an entire nation. Then we established borders and guarded territories, from clans and caves to houses and farms. Now we've factories and laboratories.
Boundaries are important to us. Each individual has them. Do not trespass. We're aware of it. Where does my territory end? Who may enter or not pass? Permissions and ultimatums to that effect make up our modern society. Our kingdoms on earth, they come in varied size and variety. Starting with your body and extending to home. What may we control or own? Why do some have more and other less? By what right is it your throne? Who may sit there and by what means are they defended? The higher we climb, the farther there is to fall where that is overextended. Nations have known it, as witness to history. Control of all is an ambition, having become in instances the cause of war by definition. To make us all equals, who wants that? What motivates innovation? The betterment of mankind, not always. We need personal gain as inspiration. A separation between communism and democracy is choice in a hierarchy. Between those concepts of socialism. Good to be fair, not greedy, we see. Why some have more, others less, systems of reward and punishment. Thoughts on it then, as modern Homo sapiens, mankind has its limit. More than your body is, more or less, all in your mind, imagine that. Put on some 3D visors. Don't leave your throne. Look around and relax. You may envision or just assume all you see is yours as facts. Because we all want more. What we can't have determines ways one act.
Can't get enough. What's necessary? Don't know till you got too much. And you're sick. Find out the hard way. Enough's a little bit or need as such. In actuality quite a bit different from what you want. Of almost all we consider to be good things. If it's too much, stop the hunt. Don't exhaust our resource. Not a good direction. Realistically watch your course. Eventually we'll run out. No one replenishes. Thing like oxygen's source. We won't get far without air and water. Plentiful with limits. Elements are all around us. What our solar system exhibits. Keep on laughing but not too hard. It could be fatal. Rather die happy than miserable. Go out with a big smile on your face. It'd be a place memorable. The objects to go on living in a state that's comfortable at least. Normal, whatever that may be. Not too far toward deceased. Get that way and stay there. Maybe not forever. It could become monotonous. Things with beginnings, such as birth, ends in death befalling us. Unfortunately true, no one's immortal except our Maker and Redeemer. Remember that life doesn't end. It just keeps going, as a dreamer. Though not as an individual. We are mortals. Our Maker is not. Who started time. Most likely same force that made you and I, a big guy in the sky, sublime. Think of it as infinite. My God, how do you spell it? Wrong, but no crime. Let me guess. You are an atheist. Go on, admit.
What created our visible universe ain't human, admit. Suppose it could be least partially. In that you or me it doesn't omit. All we perceive is not all there is, with dark matter and energy. Without initial incident, point of contact, with particles, counterparts we wouldn't be. Suspect vast membranes of matter or antimatter coming to interaction. In controlled laboratory circumstances it's become an observed reaction. One observer's tilt on creation. Do others agree or reach same conclusion? Then there could be something in it. Not just your suspicion. Hypothesize that the visible universe began as membranes came into contact. Data exists everywhere we look. We detect consequences fact. Experiments have been performed. The effects resulting in annihilation. Wherever matter or its counterparts result in measured interaction. Containment and observation are always major setbacks to experiments. In nature, observing a photon without disturbing it has great impediments. So all we may observe are results. The wave phenomenon and its effects. Particle and the slit. Openings into which it supposedly fits. Duality only drives us up walls. Are they particles or wave? It's both. That being hard to grasp. It is both and neither. How they behave settles into become us. Animate beings in a transient universe. Thus, why even worry or bother? Less it comes to murder or suicide, why fuss?
Keep wisdom at a simple level, so it retains meaning without loss of a part. Where complexity is necessary, cut it out. Get pictures across by heart. One primary concept will do. Or opposing ideas to make two. 3 incorporates force carriers. Action particles moving through. Nothing exciting as killing time. With one life to live, time's killing us. Knock it out. A moment's gone, never to return. Say it's dead, nuts. That's it or you. I certainly hope not me. Make it work out for health. Count those calisthenics. Mental ones as well, they are wealth. You'll change one for another like it or not. Money, no time to spend it. Buying our time or killing it. Wealth will do you no good, out health admit. So spend it while you're well. Though it may save your life by doctors. Insurance is the only game in town, left off your rockers. Most of us are, comes to money. It makes the world go round, you're wrong. Love makes or breaks it. There is no doubt. Hatred destroys, so all is gone. Though it continues spinning. Without love it isn't a place worth living. Ferocious beasts at a top of food chains isn't forgiving. May as well be dinosaurs. No brain among them, bigger, strongest jaws. Fastest legs, sharpest claws in the ocean too. Size matters, don't pause. It comes to plankton then. Populations count, the only case. 1-on-1, the tiny virus wins over largest animals in evolution's race.
Old is where it began. The first animals able to live on land, most likely insects to begin, started laying eggs above water and sand. It required harder shell with more calcium, similar in ways to our bone. Fish with skeletons, ribs and skulls. Photon-detecting eyes of their own. Eyes and eggs evolved in water. They became harder, more protected. Limbs, feet and hands developed on land. Due to gravity it is expected. Lifting on land, more ticklish. Displacing air, weighs more than water. That's simple, manipulating great weight more difficult, big brother. Wings require more explaining. Beginning with vibration producing sound. Developing to membranes producing motion that controls around. They weren't intended at first to produce motion but make noise. And as it turned out, the vibrating noise makers lifted the bodies off ground. An insect, at least. Amphibians were different, evolving into mammals. Live Earth replaced laying eggs. Hands, with extending fingers, short humerus, ulna and radius bones giving quadrupeds wings. For appendages, so, is a broad category. Saying the very least, in living things. Is it to say you're more closely related to birds than fish? Probably so. Or that. What point are animals distinctly without arms and legs? Some lost them, other acquired them. In order to fill a niche in nature. What gains a greater favor with our Creator? Fulfillment of prayer.
Pink's lost. He's looking for a wedding stone he fell out of. Big old rock. Must have been 40 or 50 carats. Worth several million approx. What difference does it make on Mars? There's nothing to spend it on. No lady panthers walking around either. His story goes on, it's long. Wait for rain to wash it our way. Who knows where it might turn up? It was stolen, of course, with a girl's virginity. By a cat burglar so corrupt. First he robs her of her virtue. Then runs off with a fortune. No one knows what happened to it or him. The story is a distortion. Finally struck it rich but nowhere to spend the money. Space junk doesn't work. It's been rusting away for at least 1 billion years. Lot of money for a clerk. Count it and weigh. Maybe it's enough for a ticket home if there is fuel. Leaving the perfectly good Pink Panther out is cruel. Why go at all? Is it a place you'd make a home? Lord only knows. There's no air or food. It is terribly cold. Only that is just how it goes. There may even be hostile biology indigenous to it we haven't discovered. Only way to find out is go there, I guess. Find what's uncovered. Little green men, I hope. Straight out of Toonsville we imagine. Be in for rude awakenings to wander out here naked should it happen. You'll explode for lack of atmospheric pressure. Your organs would burst. It'd require a spacesuit to be certain. Forbidding place, it's worse.
Memory storage is or there is not. We'd have it right, not to scoff. Numeric language in base 2. It's Morse code, dot or dash, on or off. Simple, stupid, like a clock. Information input in TikTok variations. Decoding is opposite, so back and forth it goes, as conversations. English may be all you could understand. There's problems in translation. Depending on level of technology achieved its association. It may simply be a society hasn't made a discovery in advanced innovation. A clock, for instance, to tell the time of day. A calendar's intention. Look at archaeology and interpret its meaning. Becomes mind-numbing. Pyramids and Neolithic structures, like Stonehenge, are like that, stunning. Finding relationships on another planet leads us to believe what we want. We grasp meaning when there is none, as it were nonchalant. An insignificant artifact, which in actuality is a work of nature and not an individual. We take to have meaning. That which has none. Is it rock or sculpture? Both. It could be. Weathering has odd effect on some materials. Programmed with prebot and punning it'd be serial. You got it, get it. Up and at 'em. Right on the money. Hit it on the head. Exact, precise, not off any degree of scientific notation. Spot on, it's said. You've made your point, dude. This shall lose its meaning with time. It is a form of urban slang, to fit time frame with rhyme. Marvin the Martian and Pink Panther seem to have a main theme here. They are toons of course and have no trouble living on another planet fear. Were we to step out on Mars you'd instantly suffocate, freeze or explode. Probably all three, so don't do it without a spacesuit stowed. Then put the darn thing on before you're standing out in another orbit. If not our home third rock from the sun, you'd best come prepared for it. The pressure, temperature, atmosphere and radiation have got to be right. A thin envelope in which we exist. That is minuscule, quite. Our biosphere is awful small on a cosmic scale. Our limit as biological entities. Bacteria constitute the largest populations on the planet. These, you can't beat them. And eventually will join them through entropy. From forms which are complex reduced to ones simple. They are we. From billions to trillions majority rules. Each life form given a vote. From our perspective thus far. Living things are a rarity in what is to note. Taken the biggest telescope to the smallest microscope, and what we see. Perhaps the visible universe is a living organ. It could be. Similarities in neurons in brains and clusters of visible matter surprising. What we presently perceive as visible in our universe, only a matter of sizing. Cosmic consciousness, it's perceived as a cosmos we're in. There it goes. Awareness, as it's referred to. Is it to end?
Time delusion or dimension, perceived by one maker, the creator of it. We're like its bacteria, helping it along in digesting knowledge it'd fit. Keep it simple and stupid as possible, without leaving anything out. A short equation, if you prefer. What fractal geometry is about. Never-ending fragmentation sinking into or emerging from points in destiny. It's our origin and end, if you like, of everything to come or be. Perhaps you got lucky. On very rare occasions it occurs, usually to others. It seems that way, and never to me. Wishful thought, brothers. The way to tie it together as like shoelaces. Samuel Clemens thought like that. The freedom of childhood, felt when we're young, still uncorrupted at. Perhaps not grammatically perfect. The preferences are in a meaning, conveying ideas as concepts. First, where we came from, being, flows like a river, big and muddy. Water rolling downhill into a sea. Lifted by evaporation into atmospheric thunderclouds rolling free. Eternal youth would be such a gift. Learning unprejudiced by repetition. Of things that always turn out the same way by advantage competition. What gives us an edge is viewing facts with unbiased objectivity in mind. No matter what the case. Older we get, more set we become, you'll find. When results occur repeatedly, our expectations are the same assuredly. So it becomes fixed in our thinking processes, fixed uncably.
K9 sent to walk guard duty on an old wreck Marvin discovered on Mars. Yezero crater has some strange stuff. Boat, pirated from Earth with cars. Martians got souvenirs from the Bermuda Triangle to end up here. Don't ask how he does it. Marvin knows lots of tricks we'd fear. I assuredly don't know. So we would have to ask one of the Beatles, Ringo. And how is everything going today, Mr. Star? Probably shouldn't ask though. What's he doing in the movie anyway? Seems he belongs there. That's not smoke. It might be some kind of a Martian coral flare. Assessing our true place in the universe is rather dismal, size and dimension. Of what portion are we next to star clusters? Let's mention. Next to nothing, but not precisely. Mountain to molehill, staggeringly large comparing. Say our Earth to the Milky Way, which we're now sharing. Hydrogen atom to host star, sun, fusing millions of tons per second. Still middle-aged, halfway in a cycle ending a white dwarf reckoned. It can take 100,000 years for energy to reach sun's surface. So on past time scales, such as this, it doesn't make us too nervous. 5 billion years before it fries Earth and its inner planets. 4.5 lasting 5 billion more in our galaxy it inhabits. It's a long time to wait. Not in any human lifetimes need ancestors worry. It is stable at the moment. Do not worry when it will end, don't hurry.
Well, I don't know about castles, but there are Tasmanian devils on Mars. Whirlwinds move a lot of dust around. They eat anything, especially ours. So you might want to watch out for one swirling your way. Stay protected and suited up. Maybe find some shelter that's solid to stay. NASA going to want another shot of this. Little green men are in it. Used to be. I didn't believe in Martians. Only on television when we'd sit. Looking at this I'm convinced. Yes, it's just as we'd expected to find. Lurking everywhere on the red planet. Now, not all in your mind. Looks like a tweet lost its mind. Do you expect them to live on birdseed? It's Mars, you imbecile. Is it an artifact? Not reliable sources we need. Straight from National Aeronautics and Space Administration, no doubt. Perseverance is doing a good job. It's what exploration's about. Now we've got something very weird going on out on Mars, flying saucers. Oh yes, the real thing. As witnessed by myself, no other authors. Should I tell people or keep it to myself? Hate to scare anyone for nothing. Alright everyone, let me see your cards. I was only bluffing. Rocking aliens inhabiting caves on this planet. Strange caverns exist. Could be Earth, but this one is not. Have to show it, can't resist. Took the pictures myself. Wearing a spacesuit and a cell phone camera. It was a long journey, expensive too. Takes a lot of patient stamina.
Strange, have you looked at its source? Is it reliable and authentic? If it is archaeological, scientific advancement is concentric. Fakery, just a trick to acquire following. Ultimately for recognition, not evidence. Objectively ask yourself, is it art, forensic, or benevolence? My stars, this is Mars. What is this eagle doing here? Somehow, it is like the face. We all want to see something tangible, when it is not. Is it someone's mistake? Surely American, but how then did it get here? Some secret program? Well, wrap up in it. Call it a uniform you wear. Just when you thought it was safe to go out on the surface, they're back. Little green men. What appears to be a monolith. Get ready for an attack. We've seen them all. They end up on the rings of Saturn. This one doesn't seem too threatening and isn't armed. Following its pattern. Alright soldier, fix reticles to battle sight. Aim at base of the target, don't fail. This universe will never miss one more, little green varlet. Got an armory hidden behind his back. God knows what he's packing. Is every life on Mars microscopic? It's knowledge we're lacking. Final proof of Martians. I'm ready to cash in as soon as NASA sees this. Fame and fortune at last. People will beg me for autographs, what bliss. Too bad the rover isn't equipped with a fishing net to snag this thing. Looks harmless, hovering a few feet away, but maybe it can sting.
Well, okay, this Martian seems harmless. It just likes dancing around, so that's more hospitable. Maybe we should go ask it to get unwound. That must be tiring. But here there's less gravity to slow it down. Get that way. It's what we should be doing, not fighting, getting round. Strange is the case. You have to watch out for lady drivers out here, men. No turn signals or stop signs. Traffic isn't busy, so slow down then. She nearly hit me ducking in and out of those things that look like trees. Guess they were knocked over long ago. Stumps most of these. Weird debris knocked out of orbit from some earlier missions, imaged by rover. How the heck it wound up here, one could not guess. Mission is not over. Part of Perseverance reconnaissance. That is a strange one. Heard of changing out a gun tube, but not on Mars. Where is it from? The Temple of the Moon on Mars. No more little green men. Now they are purple. Well, whatever, anything led, I guess. That's so Hollywood. For your mind to encircle. Where it comes from and where it goes, no one knows. It's for your imagination to find out. That is how fantasy goes. Blasting off in the blue cruiser, passing the mountain of gold that's too heavy. Fuel to put it into orbit cost more than its weight. Fun as driving my old Chevy. Could have had the entire car metal plated back on Earth. For now it's stuck on Mars. Light composites make its works.
Maybe time to move more robotics to Mars. Too inhospitable for people. Why would you want to risk it? What duration could you stand? It's lethal. In a contained environment, like a ship, or with a pressure suite like divers. Prolonged stay would take sizable habitat it requires. Just about anything can be doctored. Not necessarily recovered but mended. So set it up. Must have been standing out there a long time depended. Is this Earth or another planet? Looks more like the Midwest, not Mars. Who said it's on another planet? Did anyone plan building barns? Wow, little green men running around on Mars. Oh yes, here's proof. What's with the circular bit of pipe, whatever it is? Does it raise the roof? Remember that lying is a sin. Don't get too ridiculous. Need we start in? More anomalies from the red planet. No place to stop or begin. Now here we have more cutting edge science. Anthropological proof, a bone. Geez, can't the rover do some sampling on this? No, it's a picture shown. So who can we believe about aliens? This one's knocking back beer. Then you must begin to wonder what Martians distill it from here. It's always spring here. Think somebody dropped a part opening their chute. Possibly. Amazing how much paraphernalia ends up on the route. Next, they'll find my old 56 Chevy fully restored sitting on the sand. Doubt that you have to go planet hopping. Find a place to stand.
Looks more like the Earth than Mars. Another wacky shot in outer space. Some people get off on science and religion. I like a fiction base. So this is it. That's a nice moon. It might be ours. We shouldn't be driving. You're a little tipsy now. Be more concerned over surviving. At least my rover likes me. I wonder about people. What rubs you wrong? Brainless Twitter messages with little or no meaning. Lost lyrics to a song. Well, here I sit, alone on Mars. No fascination but my mechanical friends. It's where adventure begins with science that never ends. Egyptian symbol for life out on Mars is going a little too far. You know, if your source isn't genuine, it raises flags. It's a bit bizarre. American Eagles, and what else do you see? Are others involved other than me? The effect is of interest if nothing else. What else could it be? Think in that time these miserable creatures would crawl out of their caves. No, it's just the way your plasma behaves. On screen now, it claims. But that's your screen, it isn't really Mars. We must have been fooled. You were by me. That's my game, antagonism. You were tooled. What's this one say? Suited up, spaceman looking for a place. I'm stunned. Well, for sure this adventure's only begun. Well, that's fun. Now picture it as another planet. And it's just how you had planned it. To get the crap out of here. Completely away from the Earth's atmosphere.
You better notify National Aeronautics and Space Administration of it. Snakes on Mars, oh my god, they're everywhere. Careful you're not bit. Someone's meddling with the cameras or spending too much time on the John. They'll go away. Soon as you stop taking them pills you're on. Somebody dropped a part to hatch cover. Just trying to open it at sea. What's it doing out here? This was on a ship in the ocean. How can it be? It's partways across the solar system. Almost hit a small alien mansion. Suppose it happens all the time. Depending on the situation. What's even more strange, something's attacking the rover. It couldn't be. How'd Godzilla get into this? Either someone's playing with toys you see. Or monsters on Mars are a reality. Anyway, you couldn't think that dumb. But it conquers boredom when there's nowhere else to run. Now Marvin's ready to defend his turf. He's making plans to destroy Earth. Watch out for those little green men. Not one of us, for what it's worth. Very nearly got us with one shot. Gave us everything he's got. But that's what Martians are for. So don't relax and think it's not. To a point I won't go to stores anymore. Fear running into them. You guessed it. Flying around in saucers. No turn signal or brake lights, alien. I wish they'd read the Department of Motor Vehicles handbook. Tried to beam me out the window. Scary what he's flying, afraid to look.
The portrayal of a poor man, pounding a meager existence out of rocks. This place is nothing but that, with no water, no end to building blocks. Not too heavy to lift under light gravity out here on the fourth planet. Yes, just how Hollywood would plan it. Get out of here, dang it. Truth be known, builders are no more. I doubt, however, it is another world. A third world country, maybe, the Middle East. The picture's old. What's a little gladiator guy standing on the step with his sword say? More frames from unreliable sources. It isn't a job that'd pay. Flying blind in dust storms with no instruments. Probably have to crash land. Think it did. Think and cover the entire planet. Set down close at hand. Maybe right on top of the rover over there, nowhere seems safe. Wreck both of us. A total waste. Save one ship if that's the case. Tunes exist anywhere. Is it Mars or Mesa Verde? Won't know till you step in it. Pew, it's Scooby-Doo. Shaggy can't be far. A mystery, every bit. So the entire cast should be in on it. They can't solve anything. If it's Mars, hope they don't take your mask off. Among many things. Absurdity that structures this size not imaged by an orbiter, like pyramids. Be sure this is propped or artistic rendition. What's living here amid little green men could only be proved wrong going there. Nothing built by hand could last billions of years where there's no air.
And just so you know, Inspector Classo, it is me. I am the Phantom. What happened to the diamond? At least by the first name, right, madam? And who gets framed? Well, it's easy to see. It was that clumsy man. Escaped with that fabulous price. To be quite certain, his greatest fan was going to return the Pink Panther, but do you know what a hunk cost? For that kind of a prize, one could certainly become quite lost. Only money, it's what they all say. But working all your life, suffering each day. Face the modern world and ask yourself, did a crime really pay? It did, in a way. Though your true reward is in heaven, this is the earth. You bear one lifetime, but there is much. Love and charity have more worth. So what does this prove beside being funny? Success leads to failures. So much the fact in most of us and our everyday behaviors. Soar to great heights only to be shot down in flames. Who's to blame? No one but yourself, we fear. Whenever you're near the top, to what do you claim? Difficult childhood, gifted parents, or natural talent and ability the same? What peak would it be? Adrenaline? It could be your game. A word to the wise and discussing your maker. Believe you've all to fear. The existence we cling to is very thin like air. Don't expect success to appear. It takes hard work and perseverance to stand rigors of life. Much of it's hardship and pain. Only measures registered to gain.
In the end, we're only mortal to begin. Beware behavior, consequence of sin. It's inevitable we all die. Hope the best and be thankful then. It may be rewarded more than condemning or destruction. Unless it's your place to judge, beware. Higher you climb, further to fall, deduction. It is always handy to have a multi-dimensional device around for science that's serious. Because who knows? You may need to find a doctor. It's mysterious. But most of them are a do-nothing lot afraid of losing practice. Believe me, it does take a lot. Do not purposely distract us. Tune into the zone. No end to imagination. Now that is always working. Some are overactive. So lost in abstraction, they never come down to learning. Facts and objectivity are musts in experimentation and conclusions. Everything else is perception. Much an ideological illusion. If you've ever lost consciousness, you know what I am talking about. It all goes black. Awakening, colors begin to lighten throughout. Convince us that it's real and time for coffee. By then you're awake. Look around to find your clothes. See how the rest of your day goes and shake. Think of a comic pleaser. A light joke that may much please her. There you're a movie star. Some really are. Or were, none everlasting are. Step into it and that's the works. Complete with compliments to you. Appreciation come with thanks. Add to it if you get a mind to look to.
Seems to be a little under the weed. Stolen artwork from Dylan Thomas. I'm not a Welshman but American. We never did like the British, I promise. So what can you say? He's a scholar. Kind of a drunk too, who ain't? Prophetic Welcher and rhyme so or more describes me, not saint. Go to any lengths to get out of work. Stay home with Cheshire my cat. The mischievous grin leads you astray. World's his way at that. Animal's way, but we must believe. Go ask Alice, I think she'll know. Has hookah smoking caterpillar given you the call? Pills make you small or grow. With tender health care, golden hashish, you could last out a week. Tetrahydrocannabinol, that active ingredient in marijuana we seek. I gave up smoking for good reason. Lung disease makes you hallucinate. Fine, but I'd rather not be seeing happy trials. I would rather rejuvenate. Per Dorothy in that gale. Blown right out of Kansas by a tornado. Suppose she'll never see her little dog Toto again, I know. So that's gone too, but not to worry. Just as long as there's a path, I'm not in a hurry. Got to make our way. Hope you're not driving, it's getting blurry. Probably land on the moon. That sounds like fun if you're fully prepared. Space sweet weighs too much. It's awkward. Be one though cared. Not putting one to play. It's really the moon. But what do we want on it? Surely there's something unique about the place making it attractive, admit.
Audio Jungle. 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 Audio Jungle.